The death toll from the powerful earthquake that struck Morocco last week is nearing 3,000, as said by the Moroccan Interior Ministry. Carlo Dela Peña tells us more.
Rescuers and medics continue to look for more earthquake victims as hopes fade, finding them alive under the rubble. The number of deaths is nearing 3,000, with over 2,501 people injured. The epicenter of the earthquake was near the town of Ighil in El Haus province, located some 70 kilometers southwest of the old city of Marrakesh. Meanwhile, Amizmiz, a tourist town approximately 55 kilometers south of Marrakesh, is among the areas heavily affected by the powerful earthquake. The buildings are reportedly on the verge of collapse. A once three-floor house has been reduced to a single floor as the upper two floors collapsed after the strong jolt. Displaced residents had no other choice but to seek shelter with relatives and friends in another city.
My family is from here, in this home. Yeah. Actually, this is a big phenomenon. There's a lot of people who died. This is actually a...
Relief efforts and rescue operations continue in the quake-stricken areas, including Amizmiz and Marrakesh. Reporting, this has been Carlo Dela Peña, SMNI News.
As many as 3,000 people are estimated dead and thousands more are missing after Storm Daniel devastated eastern Libya, with the city of Derna witnessing the worst of it after two dams collapsed. According to Red Cross, 10 people are missing, while Libyan authorities have estimated that Storm Daniel that triggered flash floods may have killed as many as 2,000 people in Derna city alone. Derna is a city formerly held by Islamic extremists for more than a decade, and their stronghold resulted in inadequate and crumbling infrastructure. Meanwhile, Storm Daniel continued onward on Egypt, although the impact appeared to be less severe in the said country. Still, President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi ordered the Egyptian armed forces to send immediate assistance and humanitarian aid by air and sea to Libya and Morocco, where a powerful earthquake left thousands dead. Prior to the meeting between North Korean leader Kim Jong-un and Russian President Vladimir Putin, the latter spoke at a plenary session wherein he criticized Western nations for destroying the global economy by disrupting financial and trade relations. Jean Domingo has the details.
Russian President Vladimir Putin voiced his concerns about Western countries damaging the global economic system they played a role in creating. He expressed these worries during a speech at the Eastern Economic Forum in Vladivostok. President Putin stated that some Western nations are causing harm to the international economy by disrupting financial, trade, and economic relationships. However, Putin also pointed out that many countries around the world are committed to working together for the benefit of all people, not just the wealthy few. These nations prioritize their own projects and aim to bring long-term benefits to their populations. According to President Putin, this approach is leading to the emergence of a new international model that is more inclusive and less focused on Western standards. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov also highlighted the growing influence of groups like the BRICS economic bloc and the Shanghai Cooperation Organization as more countries seek alternatives to Western-dominated international institutions. Lavrov argued that many nations feel the need to bypass these Western institutions due to grievances and sanctions imposed by the U.S. and European unions. Reporting for Newsline World, this has been Jean Domingo, SMNI News.
Iran's foreign ministry spokesperson criticized the presence of the United States military in the Middle East and urged them to move out of the continent as soon as possible. Daniela Paulite has the details.
The military presence of the United States in the Middle East is damaging the peace and stability in the region. This is what Iranian Foreign Ministry spokesperson Nasser Kanani said at a press conference recently held in Tehran. According to the spokesman, interference by external forces, especially the United States in the Middle East, is not conducive to regional deployment. He also stressed that regional security should be jointly maintained by countries in the region, as the United States is only serving its own interest. He then called on the U.S. military to withdraw its troops from the Middle East as soon as possible.
نیروهای نظامی امریکا در منطقه هیچگاه به دنبال تامین ثبات و امنیت نبودند و در هر منطقه‌ای هم که حضور پیدا کردند، در هر کشوری که حضور پیدا کردند، نه تنها کمکی به تحکیم صلح و ثبات نشد، بلکه زمینه ساز ایجاد بی‌ثباتی و ناامنی در اون کشور و در اون منطقه شد. بنابراین
Asked about the late progress regarding the resumption of the implementation of the Iran nuclear deal, Kanani said the road to negotiations is not close, and Iran will continue to seek the lifting of illegal sanctions imposed by the United States. He also said that the U.S. imposed such illegal sanctions to safeguard its national interest. The nuclear deal refers to the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, or JCPOA. This deal was signed with world powers in July 2015. The deal aims to put some restrictions on its nuclear program in return for the removal of sanctions imposed against Iran. However, the U.S. pulled out of the nuclear deal in May 2018 and reimposed sanctions on Iran, which prompted it to drop some of its nuclear commitments under the JCPOA. Talks about reviving the nuclear deal resumed in April 2021 in Vienna, Austria, together with the representatives of Iran, China, France, Germany, Russia, and the United Kingdom. At that time, messages were related to American representatives because Iran reportedly refused to hold direct talks since the U.S. is no longer a member. However, no significant breakthrough has been achieved since the end of the last round of talks in August 2022. This has been Daniela Paulite, SMNI News.